Hi, my name is Robert Soley. Um, I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I am a vegan. I've been a vegan for um 10.5 years. The last 6 months, I've kind of had trouble with it, but for 10 years, I was 100% vegan. Now, perpetual motion is possible. Um, and I have integrated physics and chemistry. Um, Perpetual motion is possible due to the spin and the rotation of the Earth. Um, if you were to remove the gravity from an electrical particle and harness the electromagnetic radiation, it would be perpetual motion. Ernst Mach showed a bullet is dragged to its endpoint by an air cone moving in front of it. This was on Wikipedia. It has been destroyed. The equation which describes this is negative 1 over x, or rotation. Now, there was a Russian physicist who published a paper called Some Possibilities on the Experimental Study of Time. This was published in a American government classified, now unclassified document called Volcanoes on Venus. I have reproduced some of these experiments and they were valid. In fact, I created an experiment off this. Utilize this to introduce a gyroscope on a balance beam in the clockwise direction up to the moment of inertia. It would cause the beam to gain gravity. But we see from pulsars that don't spin, none of them have gravity, and only one quasar that doesn't spin has gravity. When it went counterclockwise, there was a lightning. Adding vibrations, 1/2 square root to the second power. You can make a torsion balance in a vacuum move when the moon has an eclipse, even when shielded from the light. Kozyrev did an experiment with a thermometer in a room cut off from a cosmic body's direct effect. Turned out that it contracted before it was ever seen, then expanded, which means that causes and effects are invertible. That means that time moves in reverse. Coriolis effect and vice versa. Likewise, Kozyrev did experiments with an upright torsion balance in a Foucault pendulum. When the ground was heated, it pivoted to the south. When the current moved towards the ground, it turned north. This is because you take the inverse reciprocal of inverse reciprocal, you get pulse or inward-outward movement. You take it again, you get the chiral. When matter is moved in chiral in accelerators, it releases photons. The photon is the opposite of electric charge in a way because the base or top was affected in magnitude in time. The thing it did was stronger. I've heard in building science you can increase or decrease a rubber strength, and that seismic effects are more at the top of a high building. This is because shaking on rubber does the same thing as using a gyroscope in the counterclockwise position. The universe is left-handed. The idea that I have heard, which I have never found, was that they use rubber in the materials. And the rotation of the Earth will affect the building. And you can see that gravity is diminished up there, but also the structural stability is diminished, so it is more affected by the rotation of the Earth. Rubbing on rubber or allowing it to be around any right-handed chiral molecule in the release of time decreases the time effect. You can make the most dense material have the most increase or decrease in weight by this method. Now, it does a little bit to the opposite of what it's going to do. What it does is the shaking on rubber activates something to give the threshold broken effect more responsiveness. Now, this might be very important because the de Broglie wavelength is where quantum effects appear. And so you might get quantum time engineering. Now, I have a whole bunch of this stuff. And we're going to go through it. In fact, it might be that there is no... This is called causal mechanics. Cause and effect, you see. So, it's about what the identity is. And so the experiment that I did was I shook a magnet on rubber. And so I hit a compass with it. And then I removed this magnet. The compass was now more responsive. And you... One second. Okay, people are sleeping, but you'll hear the rest later.